In the very early hours of January 28, 1918, Company B of the Texas Rangers, along with 4 local ranchmen, entered the small community of Porvenir, Texas, and with the help of the 8th Cavalry Regiment of the U.S. Army, they woke up the 140 Mexican and Mexican-American residents of Porvenir. Then they separated the men and the boys, and when the 8th Cavalry left, the Texas Rangers executed 15 men and boys, ages 16 to 72. From some distance away, the cavalry heard the screams from the women and children. Private Robert Keel described what he heard in his memoir. Quote, for perhaps 10 seconds, we couldn't hear anything, and then it seemed that every woman down there screamed at the same time. It was an awful thing to hear in the dead of the night. We could also hear what sounded like praying, and of course, the small children were screaming with fright. Then we heard the shots, rapid shots, echoing and blending in the dark, end quote. Before the Texas Rangers did what they did, they asked the men and boys if they were Chicocano. You see, 1 month before this, the Bright Ranch had been raided, and the 4 local ranchmen, along with the Texas Rangers, believed that the people of Porvenir were guilty of this raid, or they were hiding the bandits who did it. They, of course, were not. There was zero evidence that the people of Porvenir were harboring any bandits. But this took place in a time period known as La Matanza, or the Hour of Blood, La Hora de Sangre, from 1910 to 1920, where Mexicans in the state of Texas faced extreme violence, usually at the hands of the Texas Rangers or some other form of vigilante justice. Sometimes they attacked entire communities, like Porvenir. I should also add that one of the local ranchmen that participated in the Porvenir Massacre had himself stolen horses from Porvenir. Either way, the people of Porvenir were innocent, and 42 children were orphaned that day. The mothers, wives, sisters of these 15 men and boys gathered what they could of what remained of their loved ones and put them in a mass grave together before fleeing deeper into Mexico. And there they attempted to seek justice, but their attempts at justice didn't go anywhere. Anyone that spoke out was persecuted in the state of Texas, like teacher Harry Warren, who documented as much as he could what happened, and he had to flee. When Senator Jose Canales heard what happened at Porvenir, this was the last straw. He had already been collecting acts of abuse by the Texas Rangers, and so he brought 19 charges against them in what would later be known as the Canales hearings. 83 people testified, mostly Mexican and Mexican-American, and by the end of the investigation, it was determined that between 300 and 5,000 Mexicans were victims of the Texas Rangers. Students in Texas spend 1 year on Texas history, and Porvenir is not in the curriculum.